Alright, testing, 1, 2, 3. And we turn on the actual scene. And hello, dog fans. My name is Oliver Nelson Jr., and I'm making an airport for aliens currently run by dogs. A first-person, open-world, systemic narrative puzzle game about finding moments to reconnect with your fiance, the last human left in the universe, aside from yourself. I'm still very sick. I've been sick for 13 days now because my sister brought home some kind of hell virus. However, the project has been clipping along, and this upcoming week, we're going to PAX South. Dog Airport game was on the AR Tribune, which is apparently the biggest cultural magazine in Italy. 15 video games to look for in 2020. And it was at the top of the list. And then Polygon did the 20 most anticipated indie games of 2020 list. Also put an airport for aliens currently run by dogs at the top of the list. It was an alphabetical list, so we were in a shoe-in for placement, but not for, like, being a part of that list. And people are noticing Dog Airport game, and it's incredibly exciting. Also, the project has been clipping along. We have a new coffee shop, which adds an immense amount to the game. I can't wait to see how people react to being able to make coffees about as large as any of the buildings that we're looking at here right now. We've got transitions now, like cool transitions when you go between locations. I'm actually going to see if I can beat the level very, very quickly and see if I can show off one of those transitions, because they look fancy and professional and like what I always hoped this project would look like. But I'm sick, so we have to be focused. We have to know exactly how we're using our time, because otherwise my horrible, horrible sick brain will cause a deadened moment in conversation. It's just going to get weird for everyone. Hey, Nate Barons. Welcome to the chat. As you can see by... It should be fairly clear by the horrible Snuggie-like abomination that I'm sick and no longer care about my appearance or about the dictates of God and man. So, let's get a boarding pass real quick. And, of course, we're going to get 50 of them. See if we can board a flight. So, B2. This departure board works, like, properly now, by the way. I don't know what A10 is, and that's vaguely terrifying to me. Apparently, it's going to... Which planet? That is not a planet I recognize. You might notice that we can actually look at things in the dark because we've improved the lighting model, which is nice. According to this departure board, A10, which does not exist, doesn't actually go to a destination. Nothing that I can't read it, but no destination that we plugged into our destination matrix is on that list, and it also doesn't have a time of departure. So that's something for me to worry about later. B2, on the other hand, is going to Elf Planet 227, and I just gotta find B2 now. In case you've been missing the playthrough updates, where I show off what's happening in new builds, we've got actually water that you dive into at the very start of the level. There is a navigational guide here. It says behind us is B2. So let's head over there. Yeah, improvements in lighting, being able to see what's in the dark. It's not just being pitch black, being able to actually look across the pool. It's a nice improvement. We've been doing stuff. Well, Tom's been doing a lot of stuff. I've just been very, very sick. Like, incredibly sick. This has been the worst sickness I've ever gone through in my life, and that isn't an exaggeration. I almost uh, got incredibly just snotty, and not snotty in terms of attitude, but just in terms of pure output of phlegm all over the Prime Minister of Nepal, because I got very sick because of the air pollution there. The inside of surgical masks would turn black from how polluted the air was over there. And I got very sick. And then I had to interview a bunch of international figures in the conservation movement for We Are the Caretakers, which is a game I work on. Vaguely terrifying. Would not recommend it. But I didn't end up getting violently phlegmy all over the Prime Minister of Nepal. So, that's a win. We've got our boarding pass, and Bribe Dog wants something. You feel this connection? You see what's happening here? He wants something meaty. And fortunately, because I have learned the systems of the game, also I made the game, I know that all we gotta do to fulfill his mission condition, we don't gotta find a meat seller, a butcher, a high stakes, which is the name of our meat shop in the game, because there's a cow suspended from the ceiling. It's very funny. What we actually need is just to go to a vending machine, because vending machines have sodas, as well as circular meat products like salami. That's the level of logic we're operating on in an airport for aliens currently run by dogs. So a lot of exciting accolades and exciting development progress. We just got that good old dog airport game logic working for us. Cornucopia, I love how it looks when you can actually see objects in the darkness. No. Yes, second try. Pick up a soda just for posterity, just on the way. If the transition doesn't actually play, we'll just have ended up playing my own game, which is interesting because I'm not bored. Usually I hate playing my own games mid-development because I know everything that's happening in them. Dog Airport game is the first game, but that is not the case. I scripted a whole bunch of this, placed a whole bunch of these elements, but because the airport layout remains static while everything inside of it changes, and each build has new goodies in store, I'm actually coming into each build fresh. I can play it like a normal player who's played the game a whole lot. That's it. I can just play it as someone who's experienced rather than someone who wishes they weren't playing this game, which is an incredibly positive change. We go to Bribe Dog, give him the salami. He says bribes are good for everyone. I'm sure he would agree that bribe dogs are also good for everyone. He says, I'm Bribe Dog, baby. And we've got a portal. A sweet looking portal. Look at that. We just had a fade in and fade out. That actually works. Like a real fade in and a fade out. I'm not going to talk to this dog because we've got a game to develop. But dang if that isn't incredibly positive progress. Oh man, Nate, you've been sick 4 times in 6 weeks? I am so sorry. That sounds hellish. Thanks for the kind words, Unabridged Gamer. I'll be fine. I'm just sick now. I'm not gonna be sick forever, because that would be horrible cosmic price. Anyway, we've got content to add to the game. Invalid scene name and invalid build index. I'm going to send a quick error to Tom Vanita, and then we're going to make a cursed dog man. And I'll explain what that means in a minute, even though it should be self-explanatory. It meant that our gate A10 was not actually loading a destination, although these two errors could be separate. I love when my game, I'm not sure why it's working or why it isn't working. That's my favorite thing in the world. When I described a cursed dog man, something that should be self-explanatory but is not, because your creators, the people who make your entertainment, your media, your video games, have so deprived you of valuable cultural context that I have to explain what a cursed dog man is that to understand a cursed dog man, you first have to understand the Baba Yaga dog. The Baba Yaga dog, much like the Baba Yaga, is a witchy figure. A witchy figure who does witch things. In this case, in our world, by accident, mainly. They just want to be a good dog, and then sometimes they try to turn something into a frog, but ends up transforming them into a successful businessman named Kevin Williamson. And this successful businessman named Kevin Williamson is living a vicious, horrible lie for a life, because they are a dog in a universe where there's only two humans left, the player and the player's fiance. And instead, they have to be this successful white businessman named Kevin Williamson. Can you imagine anything more disturbing than waking up one day and being like, I'm in the body of a successful white businessman named Kevin Wilson. And yesterday, I was digging up bones with my bare hands because I was a completely different species. This is an existential nightmare, and we're going to give it life today and then place Kevin Williamson somewhere in the level so that it's yet another exciting and fun activity to distract people from actually doing things like boarding their flights. And that makes me happy. I like distracting people. An open world game that doesn't distract people seems like it would be in dire straits. So when it came to finding new ways to distract people because of who I am, my mind jumped to, of course, we're going to make a cursed dog man. So we're going to copy the David Boney template, because the David Boney template has so much of what we're going to be using today. We're just going to call this Rodney Dog Man. Eventually this will be, actually it's Man Dog. Eventually that will be Rodney the Dog. We'll remove the Dog Man, turn it into just being a dog. And let's see. Turn on Rodney Mandog. This isn't the Rodney Mandog that we're looking for. So, the Baba Yaga dog, we just have her chilling in the game files for later use. But Rodney, the Mandog, has to be added to the base file. So we turn on gizmos, which are active. We're going to turn off snapping for now. Don't know what should be there. Going to take this man dog and center it. And then this dog man, also center him. And we're going to scale that down. Scale that down, bring it uniform with David Boney, the extremely good dog, who you help get off world. Maybe because he's done horrible space crimes. We don't investigate why David Boney needs his help. We just see that he's named David Boney. And that's reason enough to help. We don't... If we interrogate why David Boney perhaps is despised by God and man, why David Boney has attracted the attention of authorities and legal entities across the universe, we would begin to distrust Rodney. No, David Boney. We would begin to distrust David Boney, and that's the incorrect reaction for David Boney's existence. At the very least, we can trust this dog. Rodney, the dog. Going to turn him off by default because we're talking to the horrible specter of his humanity right now. His fake humanity. Rodney. Mandog. Stage 1. Spawn target. Every quest giver has, as well as like dogs that own shops and stuff, has a item associated with their existence. What would a cursed dog man bring into this world that you could only get from the cursed dog man, or, as we have clarified, man dog? Rodney Dognerfield. Okay, Nate, I can pick up what you're putting down, and I like it. Blind trust at all times regarding canine folks is also just a really good policy. I'm going to turn off Rodney the Man Dog for now. Bless me. I hope I didn't excrete anything too horrible. Gonna save our prefab, and we're gonna find a place to put Rodney the Man Dog in the level. Let's see if we could place him somewhere along this boulevard. This is kind of an empty space in terms of interactions. I mean, interesting, but I also kind of want to fill out. Yeah, you know what? We're going to actually put this on a wing of the airport. You're going to see off in the distance a businessman. You're going to be able to actually see it from the cornucopia. Look over the side and see, hey, there's a businessman just existing in this airport. What's the deal with that? And then you can investigate. So, because I closed this, I actually can't see what is turned off and on for this component. Okay, Rodney Mandog. There we go. Let's turn him 90 degrees just for sake of scale. And there we go. Look at this. This is a dog who curses their existence every day. They hate having hands. They don't hate having thumbs, but everything else about this situation is existentially and just regular old garden variety bad. He hates it. Speaking of things to hate, we gotta make a new object because Rodney the Man Dog needs a name when we are writing dialogue for him. I'm going to go into our prefabs. Look at our characters and our naming convention, which I have forgotten. And that's going to be NPC underscore Rodney 1. And we're going to see if we have enough room in this character name text to write Rodney the Cursed Dog. I remember that name color is 434343. And we're just going to slip NPC Rodney 1. Now, you might be asking, Zolivir, why did you call it Rodney 1? Well, when Rodney is no longer a cursed dog, I want to give him a name which says Rodney, the dog who was not cursed. A little bit of a mouthful, but it will reflect his happy new reality. And I'm all about not erasing happy new realities. So we've got a character prefab now. We've got Rodney the Dog Man. We've also got to look up how we swapped out to game objects in the first place, because without that knowledge, I'm not going to be able to do anything with this character. So we got check an image and then check an image 2, which is actually not a part of the prefab itself, which is good to know. Or rather, it's not parented to the first image. So that's one change I gotta make. I'm gonna go into the flowchart because we're using fungus. We set active, false, and true. And we do the same thing in reverse for the very final block. Okay. Makes sense. So time to pull back out the base NPC. Oh, we forgot. We need to give him an item. There's a ton of items we could give him. We could give him a potion. But we should probably get the potion. Probably give the potion to the Baba Yaga dog, since that makes sense. The Baba Yaga dog probably has the very final potion we need to fix this man. So we got to think of a business thing to give him. Do we have pencils? Can he give you a shredder? Don't have either of those, strangely enough, which seems like an oversight. What would a dog man give you? David Boneyhorty gives you illegal bones. It would be kind of a cop-out to make this dog give you legal bones. Tie. Nope, those are just Canadian Mounties, which are hanging out in the project files. Sure, I'll use that at some point. What would a businessman who is a dog trapped in the body of a businessman give you? These are the types of questions I didn't expect to be asking myself at 11:42 a.m. on a Friday morning when I started this project. But it's an essential question. Would it be a token of his cursed present, or of his doggy past? Oh, maybe a chew toy. Let's look up a rubber duck. A actual literal waterfowl that animates. Is this an appropriate gift? Why would I even... What would I have the player use this duck for? I was looking for a rubber duck. Now we've just got an actual duck, and we have to contemplate what using an actual duck. It's a regular duck. What function this serves in the game simulation? I can imagine Bribe Dog asking for it, but Bribe Dog is a voracious and horrible creature. He's going to ask for everything. Not a duck, then. Let's go searching through. Let's stop avoiding our many folders and start looking into office interiors, prefabs. We've got a book, we've got books, we've got folders full of books, I guess, for people who are getting fired. That's grim. A broom, cardboard box, a ceiling fan. I love the idea of Rodney the cursed dog giving you a straight up ceiling fan. Clipboard. Ah, that's a good candidate. Desk fan, preset desk, door, exit sign, file box, fire extinguisher, floppy disk. Floppy disk. Okay, information. Should probably be a different dog who gives you that. Lamps are used in the lamp shop. We have a laptop with no function. Mirrors, monitors, mouse pad, overhead projector, papers in various configurations, paper tray, pens. We've got pens. For it to work, he'd have to give you a giant pen. Just like a humongous pen. It would have to be a pen of Titanic size, because otherwise it would just fall through the floor. We got a photocopier. Ooh, we we could have a photocopier so that another dog can ask for it for their illegal bone counterfeiting ring. That's attractive. Water coolers. We got 2 water coolers. No pencils, but we've got pens and water coolers. Elevators. Just gotta make a decision. Just gotta roll with something. A stapler. The stapler does not look like it actually swings, which is a downside. Let's see. Stapler. No other staplers. That's the only stapler we got. So our front runners are pen, clipboard, not floppy. We got pen, we got clipboard, we got a tray of papers / a box of papers, and then an actual just photocopier. I'll let chat decide. Type into chat 1 if you are team 1 equals team pen, 2 equals team photocopier, 3 equals team clipboard. Y'all decide for me, and I will go back to fixing the actual prefab itself. And by fixing, I mean going back and actually making it. So Rodney the Dog Man and Rodney the Dog, those are 2 different pictures that exist within the same temporal space. Spawn target. The vote is for what item Rodney the Cursed Man Dog gives the player. That's what we're voting for right now. We gotta decide on that before I can really finish making this dog. Rodney item. Just gonna call that spawn target Rodney item. Call that a day. Let's see. Flowchart. Rodney. Dog Man. Stage 1. His interact highlight is Rodney. Yeah, we're just gonna call him Rodney. You're just gonna walk around the world and you're just gonna see a guy named Rodney, and you'll be like, whoa, who's this guy named Rodney? What's his story? Then you're gonna be like, oh shoot, it's actually a dog still. That's the best type of surprise. The ones where you realize you're still dealing with a dog. Rodney, what is the item? The very first item is going to be Soda Scarlet Bovine. I actually have to check what the ID for Scarlet Bovine is, because the very first thing he's going to ask for has to be Scarlet Bovine, the incredibly extreme energy drink, which everyone loves, and everyone is vaguely terrified of. Where the heck am I? Where did I bring myself to? Okay, yeah, if I keep traveling this direction, looking into my peripheral vision, go. And there we go. We've managed to navigate back to our game map. That was really terrifying for a little bit, being stuck in a pink void. Databases, items. Bovine soda scarlet bull _ item. Cool. Yeah. That's what he's going to ask for. He's going to ask for that exact configuration of letters and symbols. ID to search, soda scarlet bull item. Okay. I feel like a man who's also a dog would feel some thematic resonance with a machine that makes copies that aren't quite the original. That's a stretch, but you know what? You know, that isn't actually a stretch. Nate, I think you've just found the thematic heart of this character. They give you a copy machine. Just a whole friggin' copy machine. Because when they wake up in the middle of the night, screaming with their man mouth, they find themselves surrounded by office supplies. It's the most terrifying thing ever for a dog. And amidst these office supplies, they always carry with them the entire copy machine. This is the thing they've chosen to surround themselves with. I now have to make a photocopier. I have to make it real. I have to make a real item for this photocopier. That's where we are. That's who we've become. Photocopier prefab. There we go. And that is a nice prefab. You can see it from all angles. Yeah, this will work. This will work fine. The question is, should it be a box collider or should it be a capsule collider and roll around on the floor? I like the idea of it not having a stable presence. This photocopier you've been given is in fact quite damaged in an existential way. That means it just flops around on the floor. Okay, let's see. We need the capsule collider to be forgiving on the bottom end. And yeah, that's about it. We need something forgiving on the bottom end. This can project out less. This can project out less. Okay, this is an incredibly wonky collider that does not match the boundaries of the actual item. I'm somewhat dubious about its continued existence. As funny as it would be for a photocopier to just flop around on the floor, it would also... I don't like how it looks. I don't like it. We're just going to make it a box collider. And then we're going to adjust it. I'm checking it out. I'm making the decision. I'd like to apologize to everyone for this cowardice that I'm now displaying. Okay, so we've got a photocopier. And all other ways kind of just works. Thank you, Abstract Figures. This is a nice photocopier. I just hope it is not a horrible, disgusting abomination of the light. It actually isn't. It's actually this is actually just a pretty neat photocopier. I'm not gonna lie. There's no joke for this. I just like this photocopier. Interact highlight. We need a rigid body, which never fails to make me laugh. Or go with photocopier underscore item. And then we're going to assign, we're going to go in our database, add this to our database, and then we're going to actually handle all of our item data in there. The highlight name will be photocopier. Dialog name will be photocopier. Boots, Mothman record, lamp, sweet briefcase. Okay, and the tag for this item is photocopier. That was easy. Now we just apply this change to the prefab project wide, and we've got a real life actual photocopier. Yeah, that should work. So I've got to drag, before we finish up, I got to drag this into our item prefabs. Make an original prefab of it. I'm going to change its name. Photocopier underscore item, because I add the item tag to all of our items so that we may never forget from whence they came. Also, so that we can have regular photocopiers and an item photocopier. Those two things can coexist peacefully within the magnificent world we're building. Can turn off the ability to see these phantom visions of UI elements. Otherwise, I'd be very uncomfortable all the time. I hate seeing phantom visions of UI elements. It's my number one fear. That and snakes. Let's see, photocopier. That is the object that is spawned by Rodney. We've got our name for Rodney. He asks for a scarlet bull or scarlet bovine item. Yeah, now we just gotta write the character and script him. Which hopefully, because we've already done one quest NPC, should be a little more trivial. Yeah, let's start with bone question block. Okay, I need to see where the player asks about. Okay, set variable we're going to modify the variable to be herd feelings. Now that's just propagated across the entire project into set variable and so on. So now we just gotta know what we're writing for herd feelings. This starts with greeting block with intro block. Stick with the classics. Just a classical And then it's going to be bolded. It's also going to be italicized. Because this dog is screaming. This dog is absolutely... Dogs should not have to deal with existential pressures. That's just my personal opinion as someone who thinks that dogs go through, or at least should, go through as little as possible. They should go through as little hardship, as little pain, as little suffering. This dog being... just starting with a scream sets up a really effective tone for whatever comes next. You should put a hermit dog in an unreachable corner of the world, says Abstract Figures. That would be interesting. The thing is, how would you find out that they're a hermit dog? You'd have to be able to talk to them. Otherwise, they're just a stock photo you can't talk to. And you can't talk to most stock photos in real life, which is regrettable. That's a mistake. At intro block, Rodney the cursed dog begins by screaming at you. Says, I am not who you think I am. I am not the successful Caucasian. Now I have to look up how to spell Caucasian. And then I gotta copy paste in how to spell Caucasian. I'm a successful Caucasian businessman known as Kevin J. Williamson the third. I'm a dog trapped in a man's body. Who has 3 kids. I'm not the successful Caucasian businessman currently in divorce proceedings known as Kevin J. Williamson III. He's begging you. He's pleading for you to understand this. I'm a dog. I am a dog trapped in a man's body. And then one last scream for posterity. Help me, help me. I don't want to be a human being anymore. Ah. Ah. I'm feeling good about this. I feel like we're really getting into the character of Rodney the cursed dog. I'm not who you think I am. I'm a successful Caucasian businessman, uh, known as Third, with 2 ex-wives and 3 children. I see on alternate weekends. I'm a dog trapped in a man's body. Ah, help me, help me. I don't want to be a human being anymore. There we go. Yeah, this is it. This is the one. How can I help? Is, is it really that bad being a human being? You ask, as this dog screams in your face. If hurt feelings equals false, then we get to that bad block, which makes me suggest that the block itself is bad, which I didn't mean, but I'm okay with that implication. And we're going to delete that, and we're going to make this route 2 ask for item first time. This is spaghetti scripting, and I hate it. I hate what that script map looks like. You could find notes left by the hermit dog, Abstract Figure says. You never meet him, but he's there. Huh, okay. Yeah, that's worth considering. I like the idea of finding notes. At least, at the very least, a dog who leaves you notes. And there's a possibility that you never see them, or you only see them once. That's very exciting. Especially because your method of reuniting with your fiance in the game as it currently stands is going to phone booths and calling her and checking where you're supposed to meet, or going to where you have had a meeting and then picking up notes. So the idea of not just this dog sending you notes, but also you perhaps mistaking those notes for notes from your fiance, that's intellectually appealing. I'm into it. I'm picking up where you're laying down. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not the successful Caucasian businessman known as Kevin J. Williamson III. Kevin Williamson III with 2 ex-wives and 3 children I see on alternate weekends. I'm a dog trapped in a man's body. Help me, help me. I don't want to be a human being anymore. Is it really that bad being a human being? I have thumbs. That part is pretty cool. The rest is awful, though. I'm a dog. I'm not supposed to have deadlines or existential dread or the ability to operate a photocopier. I'm not supposed to have memories. I'm not supposed to have memories. My life is a living hell because I used to be a dog and now I'm not. I'm not supposed to have memories of times I was slightly rude to others that make me question whether or not I'm a good person. That keep me up at night and make me question whether or not I'm a good person. I'm not even supposed to be a person. My life is a living hell because I used to be a dog and now I'm not. This is very weird to explain to a human being. But dear God, your life sucks. Yes, we're getting into the real juicy stuff now. I have thumbs. It's going to have a wavy tag because we want them to emphasize the word thumbs. That part is pretty cool. The rest is awful, though. I'm a dog. Existential dread or the ability to operate a photocopier. I'm not supposed to have memories of times I was slightly rude to others that keep me up at night and make me question whether or not I'm a good person. I'm not even supposed to be a person. Because I used to be a dog. And I can remember being a dog. I can remember being a dog. And now I'm not a dog. I can remember being a dog, I'm not a dog anymore. I'm not a dog anymore. It's very weird to explain to a human being, but dear God, your life sucks. It's a little hurtful. I get it. I get it. I respect your hatred of human sentience. Consciousness. I have to look up to make sure I spelled the word consciousness right. There is an S in consciousness. I know it's too late for you. Please. Don't let anyone else menu. I promise. Don't let anyone else follow my footsteps. Spread the word. Please. Don't let anyone follow my footsteps. This is not going to be a promise block. Spread the word. That being a human being sucks. And no one should ever do it. Spread the word. Being a human person. Being a human person. Being a human man sucks and no one should ever do it. Promise me. Promise you won't let anyone else follow my footsteps. Spread the word. Being a human man sucks and no one should ever do it. That's good. Patrick GH3, hello. Thank you for this riveting narration. You're very welcome. It's it's the exact type of whispering about despising being a human being that Twitch cries out for in the year 2020. Can't believe it's 2020, gosh. Regarding horrible scripting, did you see the tweet about Terry Kavanaugh's 4,000 case switch statement? I did not see that. Please tell me more about that, Nate, because that sounds like hell. It's also not far off from certain things I've had to do as a narrative designer and that narrative designer friends of mine have had to deal with. We create prisons for ourselves. Prisons of words and choices and remembering tiny little things that you've done 50 hours ago so that you can hopefully also remember it and recognize that your thing that you did 50 hours ago is being remembered. Anyway, not gonna lie, says Nate Barons. Doing my own work while half listening to you mutter about how much being human sucks is, how do the kids put it, a mood. I've always wanted to be a mood. If you can't be a mood, good. I think that's the way that sentence should end. If you can't be a mood, then good. You are winning. There's an incredible gap in existential consciousness that you do not have to fill. And that's a positive thing for you. I know it's too late for you, but please promise that you won't let anyone else follow in my footsteps. Spread the word. Being a human man sucks and no one should ever do it. I promise to spread. So promise block. And that's a little hurtful. Let's go to hurtful block. Make a block of hurtful statements. Transformed to a different species. I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. This is replaying the scenario. I can do that. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. This is yet another. If it helps, I will be replaying this scenario in my mind for the next 17 hours. and feeling guilty about it. I can do that because I'm human now. I hate that I can do that. Let's see. We can just put this straight to call and block. You're a good dog. You're a good dog. You're a good dog, Kevin Williamson III. Oh man, he doesn't introduce himself as Rodney. I need to fix that. That's a continuity error. I am a dog named Rodney. I gotta say, I named the dog Rodney because Tom Benita, who is my super cool programmer extraordinaire person and design helper guy, his dog is named Rodney. And I thought this would be a fun Easter egg, but actually I have just stranded his dog in eternal torment and existential dread loops and guilt. And I'm starting to feel increasingly uncomfortable about this. I wish I hadn't hurt Tom's dog. And now I'm wondering what will happen if I try to name anyone else's. Like, I'm going to have patron pictures in here. But if I name the dog after their dog, or I name the cat after their cat, I'm going to have to live with giving them what is going to be inevitably some existential problem or crippling inability to connect with the rest of the world. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to the dog. VVV just released just released the source code on GitHub, and it puts every variation of its game state in a single 4097 case switch statement. The entire game state is controlled by a single switch? I know, Terry. I feel really bad for Terry. I'm so sorry, Terry Kavanaugh. You did this for us, and we did not deserve it. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not the successful Caucasian businessman known as Kevin J. Williamson III with two ex-wives and 4 children I see on alternate weekends. I'm a dog named Rodney, trapped in a man's body. I don't even know if I'm spelling Rodney right. I've seen the name Rodney so much now that it has lost all meaning. Help me. I don't want to be a human being anymore. How can I help? I have thumbs. That part's pretty cool. The rest is awful, though. I'm a dog. I'm not supposed to have deadlines or existential dread or the ability to operate a photocopier. I'm not supposed to have memories of times I was slightly rude to others that keep me up at night and make me question whether or not I'm a good person. I'm supposed to be a person. My life is a living hell because I used to be a dog. I can remember being a dog, and I'm not a dog anymore. This is very weird to explain to a human being, but dear God, your life sucks. And you go to hurtful. He says, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. If it helps, I'll be replaying this conversation in my mind for the next 17. This conversation, this scenario. If it helps, I'll be replaying this scenario in my mind for the next 17 hours, feeling guilty about it. I can do that because I'm human now. I hate that I can do that. You're a good dog, Rodney. Okay. It does not console me. Your pain doesn't comfort me. I prefer it if you were happy. Just happy? I prefer if you were just happy. Your pain doesn't. No, your pain doesn't comfort me, right? Pain block. Man, these blocks are taking on horrible names. Call and block. Now what? Funny thing. My pain? Your guilt doesn't comfort me. Your guilt doesn't comfort me. I prefer. You're a good dog, Rodney. Okay, hurtful block. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Feeling guilty about that? I can do that because I'm human now. I hate that I can do that. Your guilt doesn't comfort me. You're a good dog, Rodney. If you say you're a good dog, Rodney, he says, I really hope so. Good dog block. I really hope so. You know what, funny thing? feeling guilty. My guilt doesn't comfort me either. My guilt doesn't, you know what? Funny thing, my guilt doesn't comfort me either. My guilt doesn't comfort me either. And that's gonna jitter. Yeah, we're almost in a good place. Then we just have to repeat his ask. I remember reading that Undertale had a similarly massive Switch statement underlying everything, says Nate. Yeah, massive Switch statements. I've had a few, and they have motivated me to make my games more linear. I have felt that pain. I have seen that pain. I've experienced that pain, and I kind of never want to go through it again. My guilt doesn't comfort me either. My guilt doesn't comfort me either. Yeah. My guilt doesn't comfort me. Your guilt doesn't comfort me. You know what? Funny thing, my guilt doesn't comfort me either. And then the conversation ends. You're a good dog, Rodney. I really hope so. Yeah, Rodney is in a bad place. He's not doing well. He is a mess of a person. Alright, soda. I need Scarlet Bovine. This isn't the right drink. This isn't the right beverage. I need Scarlet Bovine. I need Scarlet Bovine. I need enough caffeine to destroy a human heart. Now I have to look up how to spell caffeine. Ah, it is classified in Google as a drug. That's nice. This isn't the right drink. I need Scarlet Bovine. I need enough caffeine to destroy a human heart. There we go. Okay, so guilt block. Funny thing, my guilt doesn't comfort me either. Let's make that wavy since we've got a lot of jitters, but no wavies. My guilt doesn't comfort me either. Ugh. Yeah, I'm tired. Uh, you're a good dog, Rodney. It's a good dog block. Okay. I'm under a curse. Maybe you could have a good life as a human being. Maybe you could have a good life as a human being. Maybe you could have a good life as a human being. That's good. Okay. She was probably. I cannot remember. All I know is to reverse the curse, I need ingredients. Mix the right stuff in the right order, and I'll be a dog again. A beautiful dog with a beautiful coat. Fur. An ability to poop wherever I want without feeling bad about it. Cool. Really identifying what dogs care about in this conversation. She was probably fine. I don't know. All I know my human associate mind all I know is my human business associate mind and it thinks I can reverse the curse if I have ingredients. Mix the right stuff in the right order, I'll be a dog again. A beautiful dog, a beautiful fur, and the ability to poop wherever I want without feeling bad about it. She was probably justified. I don't know. And it mix the right stuff in the right order. Beautiful dog, beautiful fur. So yeah, if you get me a can of scarlet bovine, I think I'll have a chance. So if you can give me a can of I don't know. Get one. I don't have a can of that right now. Oh, that's easy to fix. Get one. Okay. Bobby Yada cursed me. She probably had a good reason. I don't know. All I know is my human business associate mind, and it thinks I can reverse the curse if I have ingredients. Makes the right stuff in the right order, and I'll be a dog again. Beautiful dog, beautiful fur, and the ability to poop wherever I want without feeling bad about it. So, if you can give me a can of Scarlet Bovine, I think that'll do the trick. So, I think I'll have a chance. Can you help me out? I think I don't have Scarlet Bovine. I think I'll have a chance. Can you help me out? All I know is my human business associate mind, and it thinks I can reverse. And it thinks I can. It's a curse if I have ingredients. Be a dog again. So, can you get me? So, can you give me soda? Start the process? Maybe fix me first try? I think I have a can of Scarlet Bovine. Is this the can you need? No, this isn't it. I need Scarlet Bovine. Sorry. I need Scarlet Bovine soda. Gonna juice that up with a jitter tag. And go back to ask for item. Oh, you have to curse me. I don't know. All I know is my human business associate mind makes the right stuff in the right order. I'll be a dog again. Mix the right stuff in the right order, and I'll be a dog again. Can you give me? This is soda you need. Sorry, but that isn't the right. I need Scarlet Bovine soda. I need enough caffeine to destroy a human heart. Let's see. Being okay. Do not have item. Welcome back. You get that Scarlet Bovine. Excuse me. You get that Scarlet Bovine soda yet? Not yet. This should be the soda. Why not just stay human? That's perks. Why not just stay human? Why not stay human? That's perks, right? And it thinks I can reverse the curse. Get some. Okay. Not yet. Remember. Remember, my continued suffering as a human man when I should actually be a dog is in your hands. It's a mouthful, but it sounds like something Rodney, the cursed dog man, would say. Hey, Scarlet Bovine. I need enough caffeine to destroy a human heart. Does this suggest that the way the dog is trying to fix the curse is by having you give him a lethal dose of caffeine? That's somewhat disturbing. My guilt doesn't come from me either. How can this? Oh, buddy. pal, friend of friends. How, what can a horribly cursed dog man do to help you? Oh, buddy, pal, friend of friends. What can a horribly cursed dog man do to help you? Like a photocopier, actually. Hit me with a photocopier. Have you considered just staying human? So if you say, "You're a good dog, Rodney," he simply says in a jittery text, "Not right now, I'm not." Ah, from us. Ah, from my office supply nest. Enjoy. Photocopiers to spare, man. Okay. Dude, I'm surrounded by photocopiers. Oh, buddy, what can a horribly cursed dog man do to help you? Like one photocopy. No spares. Okay. For do have item, I'm good. That'll be the transformation sequence. Okay. Let's try the elixir. Oh, shoot. This would work really well if I... This would work really well if I had a transition. Call method. Actually, set active is the tag I'm looking for. Dude, I'm surrounded by photocopiers. and set active. Rodney the dog is set to true. And then we reverse it. Make Rodney the dog man true and Rodney the dog false. False and then true, then false and true. S equals 1.3. S standing for size, of course. Turn off the size. And we turn off the jitters there, and we make the jitters the final. Okay. So if you say this should be the soda you need, say. He says, you got it. Okay, let's try the elixir. And then he starts screaming. And switching faces. That's nice. Ah. Oh. Ah. Okay. That didn't work. But we learned something. You got a photocopier? That's still a David Boney line. I need to make sure that all the lines have been switched to Rodney at this point, because once I nail down this character, I never want to look at them again. That isn't true. I just don't want to have to script them anymore. Rodney the cursed dog, 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 Rodney the cursed dog. Great. Do have item. But we learned something valuable. Drinking a single energy drink. Drink a single. I'm gonna have to. In the meantime, though, you need some office supplies. It is the weirdest and most terrifying of this curse. What's that, bro? Okay. So, let's check out this conversation from beginning to end. Now that we finally wrapped it up. Hopefully. Probably. Rodney the cursed dog. Ah! I'm not who you think I am. I'm not the successful Caucasian businessman known as Kevin Williamson III, with 2 ex-wives and 4 children I see on alternate weekends. I'm a dog named Rodney, trapped in a man's body. Ah, help me. I don't want to be a human being anymore. Ah. Is it really that bad being a human being? I have thumbs. That part is pretty cool. The rest is awful, though. I'm a dog. I'm not supposed to have deadlines or existential dread or the ability to operate a photocopier. I'm not supposed to have memories of times I was slightly rude to others that keep me up at night and make me question whether or not I'm a good person. I'm not even supposed to be a person. My life is a living hell because I used to be a dog and I can remember being a dog and I'm not a dog anymore. It's very weird to explain to a human being, but dear God, your life sucks. You say, I get it, and your hatred of human consciousness. He says, I know it's too late for you, but please, promise you won't let anyone else follow my footsteps. Spread the word. Being a human man sucks and no one should ever do it. And you say, I promise. If you instead say, that's hurtful, he says, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. If it helps, I'll be replaying the scenario in my mind for the next 17 years and feeling guilty about it. I can do that because I'm human now. I hate that I can do that. You can say your guilt. If you can say you're a good dog, Rodney, and he says, "Not right now. I'm not." You can say your guilt doesn't comfort me. He says, "You know what? Funny thing, my guilt doesn't comfort me either." And then you can, when you go back to when he's asking for stuff, you've got this list of lines. The Baba Yaga dog cursed me. She probably had a good reason. I don't know. All I know is my human business associate mind, and it thinks I can reverse the curse if I have ingredients. We mix the right stuff in the right order, and I'll be a dog again. A beautiful dog with beautiful fur and the ability to poop wherever I want without feeling bad about it. So can you get me a can of Scarlet Bovine soda? Start the process? Maybe fix me first try? You can say... You can check for the... You can say you don't have it. And he says, oh, that's easy to fix. Get some. If you say you don't have any. If you say you have it and you don't have it, then he'll say, sorry, but that isn't the right drink. I need Scarlet Bovine. I need enough human caffeine to destroy a human heart. And you could also say maybe you could have a good life as a human being. That's another chance to go back up to that other block if you haven't already done it. If it does not equal true. If it does not equal true. You leave, you come back. He says, welcome back. You get that scarlet bovine soda yet? You say, you don't have it. He says, remember, my continued suffering as a human man when I should actually be a dog is in your hands. Why not staying human has perks. And finally, have you considered just staying human? All three of those, if you have already gone through it, won't show up. Anyway, you say this should be the soda you need, and he will say, you got this, you got it, you got the soda. Okay, let's try the elixir. And then his face turns off and on, and he goes, ah, and then he goes, oh, and then he goes, ah, and he says, okay, that didn't work, but we learned something valuable in the process. Drinking a single energy drink will not remove a witch's curse. You have to do some flying, search the next ingredient. We need. In the meantime, you need some office supplies. In the meantime, you want some office supplies? I'd be happy to give you some from my nest. Every day I wake up in a nest of assorted office supplies I did not purchase or want. It is the weirdest and most terrifying of this curse's side effects. Thanks for this help, bro. Then the thing ends. Thereafter, you talk to him. He says, oh, hey, buddy. What kind of horribly did cursed dog man? Surrounded by office equipment do to help you. You ask, you got a photocopier? He says, dude. Dude, I have so many photocopiers. Enjoy. I have not tested any of this dialogue in execution, and I don't know if it will dynamically turn off and on the face, as we hope. But I'm not going to test it. I do not think I'm going to test it. I think I am going to take my sick body and my sick brain, and I'm going to collapse into bed. That said, if you enjoyed what you saw today, like, subscribe, go over to the Patreon, consider supporting the game today. You'll be able to play builds as they finish. We're going to have a new build coming up here soon with PAX South. I'm going to be gone next week for PAX South. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Feel free to, do a positive action associated with the platform you're watching this on. And until next time, dog fans, thank you so much. Take care.